Tanse, I'm Jules Thomas.
I'm Cody Trache.
Welcome to the Native Room. Today we're going to be discussing natives in music and art. So, to get it started, we're talking about, like music and art and our perspective, being native in music and art. And, so what's the first time you recorded anything?
First time I recorded anything, I was going to an outreach school. I was probably about 18. I was going back because I dropped out of high school. Surprise, surprise. And I was going to an outreach school called Boyle Street. And and it's just like some of my other peers there. They had a like a studio, and they had like a music program. They had like DJ Creation, shout out DJ Creation. He was
the brother Creation.
Yeah, he was a teacher there, kind of like I was like a student outreach or something like that. But he was there teaching anyway, and so we would mess around in the studio, do freestyles and stuff like that. And so the first time I recorded, took it seriously and actually recorded the song was for like a talent contest that they're having at the high school at the time. How about yourself? What was the first time you recorded anything?
The first time I recorded was my ex-girlfriend's dad had a computer, and this was like way back in the day, and I downloaded some free royalty-free beats or whatever, and this was like before I knew anything about programs, and then I found this one because I was just using the Windows Record one or whatever, and then I found and then I found Cool Edit Pro. So Cool Edit Pro was the first.
Cool Edits.
Yeah, Cool Edits.
Yeah, we Cool Edits Pro, man.
And then that was the first program I started learning how to record on, and so my ex-girlfriend's dad had one of those headset with the mic.
Oh damn, the Bobby Brown.
So it was one of them classic. Yeah, I didn't have no mic or anything like that, and so I didn't even know the structure. Nobody taught me a structure, how to to write a 16, right?
Yeah, I didn't know either. My structure was all over the place on my very first song.
So I just started writing, and the first song I recorded was called "Rolling in the Big E."
Rolling in the Big E.
Yeah.
Damn.
The sights, the lights, you damn right.
Sounds gangster.
Yeah, and then it was just about what I was doing at the time, and it was my first time recording anything, and I burnt it to a CD. And I was playing it in my 97 Dodge Neon.
Oh,
I was just basing it out, yeah. And I burned some copies for friends and stuff. And that was my first experience with music. And then when I actually started taking it more seriously, a friend of mine introduced me to one of my now who I consider he was a mentor for still a mentor for me, and his name is Howie Horseman. He's from Horse Lake, and he used to be in a group called Red Power Squad.
Red Power Squad.
Red Power Squad, yeah. So
this was back then.
This was back then when Red Power Squad was huge, and War Party, Res Official, all these guys all these natives were coming out, and I remember
a lot of them were on Much Music. And stuff, right?
Feeling Reserved. Yeah, those guys, Rex and Carmen, and so it was the whole group, and Stomp was Stomp. He was the producer for them. He later on became a producer for Winnipeg's Most and Res Official and stuff like that, and a lot of the bigger native groups out there, and so. How he's seen, I feel like he's seen my potential, and he, when I met him and I told him, I was trying to record and stuff and trying to get into music, and he brought me out to a studio in Alexander, and we started working some stuff out together there. But we ended up actually starting to record at his studio. He had it at his place in Horse Lake. So we're like driving in the middle of winter in my Neon with bald tires
To Horse Lake.
Yeah, all the way to Horse Lake.
God damn it. That's like a 6-hour drive.
Yeah. And the blizzards, and the one time we left there,
Go ahead, sorry.
But he's the one who taught me how to, he's the one who taught me how to write structure for songs and like hooks and everything like that, the verses.
Bars, stuff like that.
Yeah, and because I just went in there, it was like my verses were all over the place, and but he's seen something in me, and like I'm grateful for him for this day, and he was definitely
big mentor.
Yeah, a big mentor for not even just music and stuff, in personal life too. Like, and he was like one of the only positive males I had in my life that actually like looked out for me or gave me advice and and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
I think Creation was like my first like kind of mentor, and like would kind of give me advice and stuff, and like basically just keep me humble.
Yeah,
because like a lot of my peers and stuff in high school we're just we're kind of yes men, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like I liked it when I brought saw something I was working on, I brought it to Matthew, aka Creation, and he would critique it, and he would do it harshly, and I'm grateful for that because he helped me hone my craft.
Yeah.
Shout out Creation.
I've known him since since he first started breakdancing for Red Power Squad and stuff, and that was like when Howie was still with Red Power Squad. I want to give a shout out to Conway Kootenai as well. Like those guys are definitely some people we looked up to growing up in the music scene and stuff. And like the breakdancers like James Jones, Ridiculous Lee, Maddie Creation, late Jordan Roasting, like he was amazing. Like just their whole crew, and yeah, it was it was awesome to watch. Like I used to go watch them practice like their show stuff, and
that was
Red Power Squad,
Power
and then these guys they had their own, and then they would also go to breakdance battles and stuff. It was huge back then. It was such a cool scene. I remember I bought I was in high school and I bought War Party's The Rain album at HMV, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I thought it was the coolest thing to like go to HMV and buy a CD there that was native, right? That was natives, and that was like back then. It was like.
Do you remember the cover?
It was green, and it had their guy, like their native guy. I think he had a tomahawk or something in his hand, and he was like running. It was like green and black.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before.
Yeah, so that was the album, and I bought that from HMV.
Their like logo, right?
Yeah, it was their logo and stuff, and
back I remember that. It was like kind of like a stick man almost.
Yeah, and he was like running with the tomahawk and stuff.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
And then some of the songs from there were like the one they had the video for, Feeling Reserved. Like at the time, that video was crazy. And
that was a good track.
And what else there? Make Me Wanna 49 with you.
What does that mean?
That's one of the songs of I found out like 49 is like the 49 is like the after party to the powwow.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that, yeah. And that was like one of the songs that stuck with me too. Yeah, they had some hits, man. They definitely did. And
with the Stomp production, right?
Yeah, then with Tom Cryer doing the beats and stuff, and then later on came J-Mac, and they started Res Official, and they brought on some other guys I knew like Dreezus and late Tomislav from Winnipeg.
Shout out Tommy, yeah.
Helen back, yeah. And
Helly,
bro Helly, yeah.
Big Helly, yeah.
Yeah. And back when he was in War Party, he was Kool-Aid the Chubby Cree. I don't know if he likes to hear that, but yeah, that's how I remembered him coming out and stuff. And
Kool-Aid the Chubby Cree.
Yeah. And
I see you.
Yeah.
Just,
And but yeah, these guys in the music scene were, you know, like just seeing these guys come up and stuff, like natives, like starting like this whole different thing in the native scene and in music. And it was like, oh yeah, 118, Doug Bedard and Relic.
yeah.
And Lace.
Oh yeah, Lace. Yes, that's
And
right.
So
Lace.
Doug Bedard, Relic, and Lace. 118.
Okay.
I remember.
I remember Doug.
I went to this show at Rising Sun, and it was crazy because there was like Red Power Squad. It was War Party was there, and 118 was there. The one cool thing I remember about 118, I seen Doug Bedard. He was like holding up a street sign, the actual 118 street sign, when he was performing and stuff. He was standing there and he had it out and stuff, and I was like, oh man, that's freaking cool. And then, but the first real hip hop show that I had got invited to was by Doug and Nutley. So that's Brad Crowfoot.
Yeah, Nutley.
Yeah, Nutley. He's the man. He was like, he made everyone look like superstars, like the guy with his camera and everything.
Pictures,
yeah. And then he had his own podcast way back in the day before podcasts blew up. He was like doing Fifth Element, and I was like, you know, it was cool to hear him play some of my music too.
Yeah, he did. He did
some of my early stuff.
He did one of my early videos. I got into the videography. For me.
Yeah, no, Nutley. Shout out to Nutley, and all these guys. But they had a show at I think it was called Ginger Sky or whatever. It was on the west side on just off 156th Street, and this is like where I first seen the brother there, Sean Bernard.
Yeah, Sean, busy man.
Yeah, Sean Bernard and Mother Peace perform.
Yeah, they had that song at the time, right?
Yeah. So that was the first time I got invited to, like those guys invited me out and you know, the first time I like actually felt like I wanted to perform music. Yeah. Because at the time, like I was, me and my buddy we had our own studio in Clairview and we're recording out there. And at the time I started getting into I was like back and forth in Calgary. I was getting into some studios out there and recording and everything. But yeah, that was like my first taste of like real, like as a, you know, like hip hop show that made me want to perform.
Yeah, there used to be a bit of a scene back then, you know, like it's not the same nowadays. I don't feel like there's much of a hip hop scene I could be wrong, you know, maybe I'm just not going around, but I don't feel like there's like not the same as we had it, you know, like, you know, years ago.
And what made you want to perform?
Oh, okay, well, we'll go back to my first song, right? So it was the first time I ever like wrote anything and recorded anything, and it was for a talent show. And I never recorded anything before. I never written anything before, and so I recorded that song like the day before the talent show. Rehearsed it all night, and then the next day was like the talent show, and then performed it, and I got like a really crazy response from the crowd. Like they were loving it, you know, like I was just going all in on the performance and like going hard and like, you know, just doing what came natural to me because I was like, you know, I was never really taught anything besides, you know, like I guess what I seen on TV and stuff. But yes, and then like there was a lot of other performers, right? And then we had a guest judge. Like some of the other judges were like the teachers and stuff from the school, but we had a guest judge, Farley Flex, and he had an artist, MC Maestro Fresh, who was like the biggest selling Canadian artist at the time. He had the song like "Let Your Back
Bone Slide."
But anyways, yeah, it was a great song. And like before Drake, he was the number one selling hip hop artist out of Canada. And Farley Flex was his like manager, right? So, but anyways, like this is years later after they had their success, and he was just kind of, you know, doing his thing, and he came to be a guest judge because he was like at the time he was like a judge for Canadian Idol, and then like so he just somehow they got him as a guest judge at Boyle Street. I don't know how the hell they did that, but he came, and yeah, there was a lot of other performers, like a bunch of other students that were singing. There was other rappers too, and then yeah, lo and behold, I ended up getting first place for the talent show, and like yeah, that's what kind of made me fall in love with hip hop was, you know, the reaction I got from the crowd, you know, and then like this me like being super surprised winning the talent show contest. Like I had no idea, like, you know, and like bunch of the other kids came up to me and they're like, "Ah, we knew it, man. We knew you were gonna win." I'm like, "Really?" Because I had no, I had no clue. I thought at best I was gonna get third place. And the way they like announced it, they announced third and then they announced second, and then I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm toast, right? And then they say my name, and then I'm like looking around. I'm like, what is it? What? I was super caught off guard, but the great thing about that experience was having Farley Flex give me like give me some advice and stuff. And the advice he gave me was to like just like study all the hip hop magazines. Like he's like you know, he's like, this is like a good step for you, but he's like, you got a long way to go. Like he didn't sugarcoat it for me. He's like, you got to keep working. And he's like, be a samurai. You know, that was the biggest thing that stuck with me was he's kept telling me to be a samurai and to keep working on my craft every day and to consume as much knowledge as I can. Like he wanted me to like, he's like, read the producer magazines, read the DJ magazines, read the MC magazines, right? Like, and just learn, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I fell in love with performing, was just that rush that you get. And then since then we've done hundreds and hundreds of shows, and then like every time I just love that feeling, you know, that feeling you get when people are feeling the shit, you know, or whatever Eminem said, you know. Yeah, it's a great feeling. Like it's like I couldn't compare it to anything else because, you know, of that adrenaline that you get from that is amazing, and I love it, and I want more of it.
Yeah.
That's why I still perform to this day, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just yeah, that's what I love about it is that live performance aspect is huge for me.
My first time like doing an actual show, my buddy of mine, Makram Shaib, he owned Monkey Island at the time on White Ave.
Oh,
and
good old Monkey Island.
Yeah. And we talked, and then we were gonna do a show. So this was gonna be my first show, and it was also like my birthday show kind of thing at the time too. And
was I there for that one?
No, you weren't there for that one. This
that
was
was like the first
yeah,
one.
yeah. This is before you came around and stuff, and so this was like my very first show. And then I had opening up for me. I had the bro for Jr. Saddleback Jr. So he went by Anasaz. I had
Anasaz. Remember Anasaz?
And then we had the brother.
He said that to me.
The brother Maddie, DJ Creation, DJing. We had Helen back, and Sean Bernard. So we had all these, like, I already had, like, these guys are all heavy hitters. These are all bigger performers, and they come in to perform with me on my first show. And it was definitely it was addictive. It was like something I knew I needed to keep doing, and I was just in love with it.
So you held your own with all the big hitters?
Yeah, so this was my first time throwing an event in a club, and same thing. I rented all the equipment, I designed a flyer, I promoted it, and you know, we packed that club, and this was the first time I ever seen like a club that was like packed with like all natives and stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was super cool, and, you know, and I had so much fun with it, and I knew after that I was like, I had to do this more, right? And, you know, and then after that I started like promoting shows and started like meeting more other native artists, and they would like bring me on their shows, and I would bring them on my shows, and You know, we were performing at all these different nightclubs, and we started traveling, doing shows. And then, so yeah, it was about a year or so after that. That's when we linked up. And maybe you want to tell the story about that.
Yeah, I guess Enter Stage left, you know. Like I was doing music just, you know, kind of just as a hobby, you know, and I wasn't really taking it too serious. But I was writing. I was still writing every day. I was still like, you know, like, but I wasn't like, I didn't have any like connections and stuff. So, yeah, I just linked up with Jules. You know, I don't even remember that first conversation, but I do remember the first like party. Like, yeah, I remember like.
Well, the
Jules,
first conversation was like at our family. We had a family dinner.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, the family dinner.
Okay, yeah. So it was at a family dinner. Yes.
Yeah.
So it was like Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
We had all the family there and,
Yeah,
and the cookums and all that.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other for years, right?
Yeah.
Like since we were kids.
Yeah.
Young kids. And then yeah, I just told him that I do music. He's like, "Oh yeah, we'll see." You know? And then so like Jules, you know, he was known for throwing those epic parties back in the day, and I think I happened to be at one of them. I don't know if I just came to the after party or what.
Yeah, maybe the after party, yeah.
Yeah, I think I just came to the after party, and he had the mic set up in the living room, and he's like, "Yeah, you know, you want to be part of Red 3, you know?
Yeah, you want to be down?
Yeah, you want to be down with Red 3." Yeah, he ended up getting me to spit a freestyle on the mic, and then like in the middle of the living room, I had to do a freestyle in front of like the house party, and then so I was going off on the freestyle, and you know, and then yeah, he eventually came over and he like grabbed me. He's like, okay, you're in, you know, that's enough, you're in, you know.
But you're also beatboxing lots too back then. I remember that.
Yeah, I was doing the beatboxing was like part of my live show too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
then we ended up making like our first song. I think our first song was you beatboxing, right?
Yeah.
Our very first song we recorded, we had like those that's when I had my house in the Grange, and we had those air mattresses set up as the sound booth.
We had the air mattress sound booth. Yeah. No, we used some of my beatboxing like as a part of the beat.
To lay the beat down.
Yeah. It was fun. What the hell was that song called? I don't even remember what the song was called. So long ago. Like we don't even have those.
Because I remember it was like
Your Girl?
Yeah, Your Girl,
Your Girl, yeah.
And then we like that was like one
Take your girl home tonight or something like that. I can't remember.
And then we performed that song lots together.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those ones that we like were always performing in the clubs and stuff.
Yeah, it was a good song, yeah. I wish we had that song still.
Yeah. And yeah, a lot of that old music is like lost, like gone, lost. And but the thing too is like like those beginning days, like when we started recording and then we started doing shows and we started recording a whole bunch of music together, and then all our solo stuff too, and then the video stuff, and we just
we did a lot. Like with those early days, we did a lot together and like and separate, man. Like we did solo stuff, we did group stuff, and we did all sorts of shows. Like we did a lot of shows, you know, because Jules kind of always had to connect, you know, like he just kind of just through his design and stuff, and like through his just like fucking social butterfly personality.
That's just always out there, right? Like, and that was the thing. Like a lot of these guys, I ended up, like there was like this like almost like an online native community back then for hip hop. So it was like everyone had their own like kind of websites and stuff. It felt like there was a real community for natives in hip hop, and
it was just it was
because there was so many artists, like native artists at the time, and we were like doing shows everywhere, and it was blowing up. Like I felt like it was blowing up, and then other artists were starting to come out and starting to get more mainstream, like Joey Styles, Winnipeg's Most. Sean Bernard, Rez Official. Those guys were all getting music videos on Much Music and stuff, and even some of the ones from the States too. And there there was like it was a cool scene because even not just like the hip hop, like the music and stuff, and there was also the break dancers or the the dancers and
and
the
then
DJs.
clothing, like,
Yeah, and then like everyone like starting to come out with clothing lines and stuff like that too.
yeah, like native clothing lines. And
Yeah,
stuff.
and so there was like, and then some of the ones from BC too, from Vancouver, some of those native artists as well. Like, and it was such a cool time because it was like,
yeah, it's a bit of a melting pot, right?
yeah, and it was cool because we were part of it, right? Like we were part of that, and we were like performing all at these same shows of these guys, and we're like, I thought that was awesome that like we were all like native artists. Like that one big show we did that Sean Bernard and Brad threw, Nutley threw at Empire.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Oh my God, that was a crazy
that was
show, man.
huge. Like that was like the most natives I ever seen in the club.
Yeah.
It was like downstairs was full, the middle was
Yeah.
full, upstairs was full.
I almost got dragged off a stage. I almost got ripped off a stage by four like crazy screaming
Yeah.
girls. Like just like fucking trying to drag me off stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane. It wasn't.
And there were so many people performing. Like on that lineup was it was Sean Bernard, it was us, Red 3. So yeah, that was our group, Red 3.
Yeah.
And then Lightning Cloud, Joey Styles was there. Tomislav was there, Nathan Cunningham. There were so many artists there all performing in this big show. And that was the most natives I've ever seen in a nightclub and stuff. And that was
it was jam packed.
it was like I was super proud to be native and to be like doing music at that time.
Yeah, Sean did a great job. In those days, like promoting, like
Yeah, he was heavy into promoting.
he was out there.
Yeah, he had his hustle on hard back then too. He was putting people on, and that was like one thing he was always good at was putting people on.
Yeah, he put
And
us on, right?
he helped put us on for Nutley too. Like Nutley was helping doing shows and stuff, and
Nutley
he
was
was just with his camera, like he was out there making everyone look like superstars, man.
Yeah.
Like he took all the all these pictures, and he's a hip hop head through and through. That guy.
Yeah. He was great. Like Nutley was at every show, and just having a good time. Like it was a great time. It was.
Yeah.
I loved that era, of music that we got to experience.
It was a good era, and like I said, I was starting to get more connections and stuff like that, and starting to meet more producers, more
Nightclub owners.
yeah, nightclub owners, just event planners and all that, and so all these promoters and stuff too. So it was I made some pretty good connections, and we're able to start getting these opening acts for these bigger shows, and
that just kind of took off.
Yeah.
We started working on the album, right?
yeah, we're
We're planning on we're planning on doing a Red 3 album, right? I think we did release what was it, like a pre-album?
yeah, the pre-album,
We
yeah.
released a pre-album with five
Yeah.
tracks, right?
Yeah.
But we were working on the Red 3 album, and during that time, we were
We were just always recording. I felt like we had a lot of songs. We were just always recording, and but it was I know for me like at the time, like I was making all our beats and stuff and recording everything, and it was like it just felt like it was fun. Like we're just having fun. Like we're just living in it, right? Like we're just recording and then putting these songs out. No, we weren't even really putting songs out either. We were just recording to perform.
we were recording.
Recording to perform because we're performing so much that
we're just living.
Exactly. We're just out there. So like we weren't even like really I guess that was the difference between us and like all these other guys too, because everyone was like putting out albums and applying to like the Native Music Awards and all that kind of stuff, and then and the videos and stuff. And I think like we're more focused on recording just to perform because like we got such a high. Like I felt like we always had such a high, and we are riding off of those performances,
I
right?
loved it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we do all our rehearsals in the car right before the show.
Yeah, because we weren't just doing like local native shows and stuff. Then we started opening up for people. Like we're like some of the first ones was Bun B.
Yeah, Rick Ross.
Bun B was one of the first ones. Then Ghostface Killer. Then Rick Ross.
Rick Ross was huge because I was at Ed Center and
It
was
and
like,
then
a funny story behind that. Do you remember that? When we showed up to the venue, like just before the show, they were like, because you had to go to like the back door.
The green room. Yeah, and then we're in the green room. Yeah.
So we come in and the guy, the security, is like, oh, he's like, hey, well, what's your guys' name? We're like Red 3, and he's like, oh, Rick Ross, okay. He's like, oh, right this way, sir. And so like he ended up letting us and our DJ in. And they had like a liquor cabinet, and I'm like, me and DJ Short Top, we went straight to the liquor, and we started pouring ourselves drinks and stuff. And then late, what's his name? He came in, Justin. Late Justin, he came in because he was the promoter, and he's like, who the hell let you guys in here? Who the hell's drinking Rick Ross's liquor?
That was like his Patron and stuff, right?
Yeah. No, there was a bunch of them.
Yeah.
He had a bunch. We ended up opening up 2 bottles, and then he got pissed off at us, and like no one else was allowed in the green room except for us. So we got to come on stage through the back, through the green room. And it's like you come up through like the bottom of the stage. It was like really cool experience. And then Justin, I remember him like putting like water back in the liquor, putting the cap back on. so you level off the liquor. So, I don't know if Rick Ross even noticed.
No, he didn't notice. That guy showed up like, it was like almost the end of the night. He came on stage for like, he wasn't even on stage that long. He was holding the mic out and getting everyone to rap his songs for him. And that's when we ended up just leaving.
Yeah, we did. We left early.
We didn't even stay.
Because we were like, this guy's boring. Right? Like we didn't really know who Rick Ross was at the time or how big he would become either. Yeah. He just had that really big song at the time. Every day I'm hustling.
Yeah. And then, a good buddy of mine, late DJ Fresh from Saskatchewan. He's and then he started putting us on, getting us on shows, and so we ended up opening up for Ice Cube at Empire.
Ice Cube, I loved that.
The sound, like that was the best sound I ever had as a performing ever.
And it was a cool experience because I got to go in. I went in early to watch Soundcheck.
We were there watching Soundcheck.
And Dub C was like the way he did Soundcheck was like I've never seen that before.
Yeah, Dub
and,
C.
He was super professional about it, and then also he was like a super down to earth dude. Like you go up to meet Dub C and like just shake his hand, and when we did the show with him in
I remember
smoked a joint with him.
Dub C in the back, the back of the club. But I remember we were like fighting over who's gonna get Ice Cube's mic. Who's gonna use Ice Cube's mic?
Yeah, because the mics were labeled.
Yeah, and I'm like, I got us this show. I'm using Ice Cube's mic.
He hogged Ice Cube's mic, man.
And then, so. Oh man, I almost got pulled off the stage at that show, like grabbing my pants and like almost pulled my pants off. These girls like almost ripped me off stage, and it was
people just get so crazy. Like, we have like really hypes. We have like really hype songs.
Yeah, so we'd get the crowd hype. The
crowd go nuts. And back that time, like they would all the performers, they would like turn you down. Your mic would be a little muffled, and so it'd be a little more difficult to get the crowd hyped, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as Ice Cube hits the stage, all of a sudden they like, flick a couple switches and it's like they got perfect sound.
But we had amazing. I think we had amazing sound at that show. It was so good, and we had such a good time. And then we ended up getting to like a few days later, we got to open up for him in Saskatoon.
Yeah,
Saskatoon. We got to open up for him. Yeah, it was Saskatoon.
Yeah.
And then I forgot our memory stick with our music at the hotel.
Oh yeah.
And I had to race to the hotel, and I got a speeding ticket on the way back.
Yeah. And we're just sitting there waiting, sweating bullets because like, yo, we're gonna have to cancel. You guys are gonna have to You guys are gonna have to go on after.
Go on after. I was like, no, that's not happening.
Who the
That's
fuck
not
wants to
happening.
follow Ice Cube?
Yeah, everyone just walks out
'Cause
after like the
I don't
main
know if you've been to an
performance.
Ice
Yeah,
Cube show, but he does a really good job. You know, he does a great performance.
yeah. Then we ended up opening up for Warren G in Saskatoon and Regina.
Yeah, that was a crazy.
Yeah,
one,
that was crazy. Yeah,
Warren
and-
G was just loaded, bro. He was. Just
well, he was sober, like pretty much sober in Regina because that's where we did the first one.
Yeah.
But then when we did the Saskatoon show, like I felt bad for people because he was wasted.
He was
Yeah,
so
he was wasted. He was like he had a bottle of Patron on stage. He was giving people shots and
Yeah,
stuff. And
yeah, he was out of it.
yeah, he was out of it. Then we got to do Young Jeezy in Saskatoon.
Yeah, Young Jeezy. Didn't we get Did the crowd get fucking bear maced?
Yeah.
That was Young Jeezy, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we opened up for Young Jeezy, and then just after we performed, like a big fight broke out in front of the stage while we're like towards the back, towards the entrance, and yeah, someone busted out bear mace.
Yeah, people were like running out, coughing. Like that was like one of the more Saskatoon was like one of the more.
Yeah, because yeah, it was wild because
We did other shows there, and it was just like a really like gangster city, you know.
yeah.
And then
But we had love. Like,
yeah,
we
no,
had
like
love.
all the gangsters they showed us a lot of love. Like they would like always tell us to come sit down at the table, to buy us drinks and shit, and you know like come to the after parties, and it's like I don't know about that, but
Yeah, and but yeah, like
usually always ended up being way too tired after the show because we travel in.
we travel far, and then
We'd have to be there for sound check, and then we'd do the show, perform, and like fuck. By the time we're done all of that, we're tired, and we have to be up in the morning to travel home too, right? So
yeah. And I remember the Young Jeezy one. Like, as soon as like everyone evacuated out of there, then a bunch of fights and stabbings broke out outside the club, and then they finally let everyone back in. And
yeah, the Jeezy did perform, but he didn't do a very good job that
No,
time, right?
no. Like I know like I remember his tour across Canada. There was so many stabbings and shootings and stuff at all of his shows. And then the other one was when we opened up for Bone Thugs at Chrome Lounge back then.
Oh man, yeah, that was a gangster party.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, just right at the end of like their last song.
It was a
the
great show,
crossroad last Crossroads. Right at the end, and all of a sudden, stabbing broke out right beside us.
Yeah,
and
one of my favorite shows though, like just because like Bone Thugs, like they are all not all of them were there, but it was a great performance by them.
Yeah,
by the ones that were there, right? So.
Yeah, so you know it was cool that we got to do like a lot of these opening acts for these shows, and you know like I felt like I was more nervous at small shows, like even some of the like smaller shows, like where we ended up doing some res shows and stuff like that. Like I was always more nervous at these smaller, more intimate shows than when we're performing in like these big nightclubs and you know and stuff. And but you know it was such a good time. You know we
it was a blast. We had a good run. We're still doing it. Like we're still doing shows.
Yeah, and it was all like trial and error too. Like we learned so much along the way. We met so many people.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, we got so much advice, and it built a lot of. And the cool thing about music and performing, and like creating, like honing your craft and creating art. You know, it built so much confidence for us, right?
Yeah,
you know, like it definitely changed us, like because we're able to perform in these big venues and open up for people that we grew up listening to and stuff like that, and all these people we met. You know, like it definitely made me a lot more confident as a person, as an artist, a performer, and then and like being able to translate that into my everyday life too.
Yeah, the nerves part, like I never really got the nerves too much, like I would usually have like a couple shots.
I think I was nervous like before we were about to hit the stage. So like
once we were performing,
like as soon as we hit the stage, it was gone. All of a sudden, we're in our mode, and it's like doon, and it was just the rush, right?
Yeah, I was like
that kind of high. Like
as soon as you're on the stage, it's just for us. I think it just came natural.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like our chemistry on stage, our chemistry on the mics, it just worked.
Yeah, and we just like we learned through trial and error how to do the crowd control and how to like let the songs breathe and like get the crowd response and stuff like that. Like, not just doing, like, I see a lot of people, a lot of young MCs today make the mistake of just kind of just performing their songs back to back to back without letting them breathe and trying to do too much. And then, like, our philosophy was less is more. Right?
Yeah.
So we would do like 2-3 songs.
I think we did 3-4 songs.
Yeah, 3 or 4. We kept it pretty short.
Yeah, sometimes we do like a couple songs.
But it depends on
sometimes
the venue. But like when we're opening up for the bigger acts, we keep it really short, and it's like short and sweet because like, you got to remember that the crowd for when you're opening up for the bigger names, they're not there to see you. So the best thing to do is just give them your 3 or 4 best tracks.
Yeah,
and then let the night continue, right?
But yeah, it definitely was a movement back then, and like even, like I felt like there was a lot of camaraderie, a lot of support from other natives. Like I know, like some people say, oh, there's no support and no this and that, and nobody supports each other. But I felt back then, like especially like for our group, I think like we had a lot of support, and
we definitely had a lot of support.
Yeah, and like even just when we started seeing like these up and comers too, like after we started, like and then we started like putting other people on and stuff. Like it was just
for sure.
Evolution of it was so cool. It was so cool to see like like natives starting from like these home studios and stuff, and like before that, like people had to go to other studios. Like there was other studios in the city that you had to go to just to get a chance to record.
Yeah.
Like I remember back then, like in Edmonton, there was like Smash Benz. There was a few other ones that were around the city.
Well, there's NATO, like
NATO, yeah.
NATO, right? Like that's where I recorded a lot still. And then there's Soundproof.
Yeah. And then even like in the later years, like Soundproof and some of these other like good studios coming up, and
I don't remember, like, because we just kind of
because we're mostly just recording all our own stuff.
Like we're just recording at his place.
So
we recorded a lot of stuff at the
office
too, right?
Yeah. So like all our stuff, we just did all ourselves. We weren't really like. We didn't have any other producers.
Yeah, we kept a small circle.
Yeah, we didn't, like one of the things I always wanted, like ever since back then, the whole time we did music, I always wanted to, like have a song or some songs produced and like, like by Stomp. Like that was like always like.
Yeah, that was a goal.
Like, Tom, you don't know that. You don't know, but I've always since day one, I've been a fan, and I've seen you like make these amazing hits for other people and stuff. And I was like, oh man, one day I wish I could, record on a Stomp beat, or him like mix and master, produce a song for me. I'm like, that was always one of my things. And
yeah, for real. Yeah. Like, me and the boys, like me and my current like group, Guilty, like we're going into the studio with John C soon, and we're going to record a,
John C from Winnipeg's Most.
Yeah, John C from Winnipeg's Most. Yeah. And we're going to record an album with him. Right. And like, so hopefully I'm hoping that John C is going to be part of some of that production, because I know him and, Stomp is going to be part of some of that production.
Okay.
Because I know him and John C are pretty close.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Stomp made those guys. Oh, he did. I don't know the whole backstory, but I know like a lot of like Stomp and J-Mac doing like a lot of the production and everything like that for Winnipeg's Most.
They created a sound that like heavily inspires like the kind of music I make today, right? So that I feel like there's like a kind of they pioneered that sound that is kind of, I think, unique to our area, like Western natives, like from Manitoba.
And then the cool
like Alberta, right?
Yeah. And then the cool thing too, like about our music, was that my music as a solo artist and your music as a solo artist is like completely different.
Yeah, completely different to and even to us as a group.
Yeah,
was different to our solo stuff.
Yeah, and then when we came together, it was something else, right? And it just worked for us. And
like
even this day, like when we recorded our last song here just recently, we didn't record forever together, and then we just recorded another song.
Yeah, we were done this song in like, and like an hour,
Yeah, it was just it just happened, like, right, like, and that's I think that's the coolest thing about creating music is like when it just happens like natural.
Yeah, it
you know,
feels great.
Yeah,
you know,
and it just flows out naturally, and
all of a sudden you have a hit.
yeah, and it just and it just all comes out, and it's that's the cool thing about music and the art behind it, and like even just this whole like natives in music. It's cool to see the evolution of it. It's cool to see.
That's what I've loved is watching the evolution and being a part of the evolution,
And,
and like just realizing that like we have like Western Canada has like this sound that kind of originated from here. I don't really know how to describe it, but
yeah, and just seeing like even the technology and stuff, like because back then when we started, like like people were putting out CDs. Right, people were putting out CDs, and online wasn't as big. Like you're trying to sell CDs and stuff, and the software and the hardware and stuff like that. Like you had to have this big studio with all this hardware and like all these soundboards and everything like that. You just go in there, they got like 10 keyboards stacked and all this stuff, right? Yeah.
When we first were getting started. There was still like some like old school studios.
Now you see people making hits with a laptop and an audio box and a mic.
Yeah, that's
and a headset. Yeah, and
like our like the producer I work with right now, he owns Red Room. What the heck's his name? Dustin. Like we flew out to Mexico, and he had his laptop and a little tiny keyboard, and he was making a beat right there, right? Like. It was pretty cool. He was like, so on the way up to Mexico, it's like 6-hour flight. He's making a beat. I'm riding to it, and we're making hits in the air, right? So
yeah,
that was a cool experience. I never thought I'd be doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then like even for myself, like when I started doing, when I started taking, like when I started having a family, like having kids and getting into business and stuff, I pretty much stepped away from music.
Yeah, I stepped away too for a few years, and like I just, Shroom, like a Fat Homie, as a lot of people know him as on Instagram. He's pretty famous on Instagram and like TikTok and stuff. He like I don't know, like he just because like I never stopped writing or anything, so those like few years that I took off, I didn't really show anybody anything I was writing. And I showed him, and yeah, he just really loved it. And based off of that, like, he wanted to like, because he did music for a long time too.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just wanted to start up again. And we've been going hard now for like 4 or 5, coming on 5 years. We've been going really hard back at the music again.
Well, even like one of the first shows we did with him was like when they had when he was in the group. They had the group Dogs of War.
Oh yeah, Dogs of War.
Yeah, Dogs of War.
Yeah. Fat Homie was. He's been doing his thing for a long time, just like us. He was a part of that scene, just bubbling below the surface, like us, like we were. Like there was some big names and stuff, and we are just kind of bubbling below the surface. Like more concentrated. We were more just concentrating on just getting those shows and having a good time. Right?
Yeah. No, it was awesome, and then then last year was like. I just had this itch. I wanted to record again. I just wanted to like, I was like back in like my artist mode. It wasn't about like, trying to make the best music or whatever. It was about just expressing myself artistically. And
yeah, you made like definitely some different stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
so
good stuff.
Yeah. So this last year I recorded about 10 songs. I recorded at the Nothing But Fame Studios. That's with and Christian Ari.
Nothing But Flame.
Yeah, Nothing But Flame.
Yeah.
Christian Ari. Yeah, shout out to Christian Ari. And like taking my music to another level, like recording in the studio and his mixing and mastering and stuff.
He's a great engineer. He's good at what he does.
Yeah, and like some of the new music, like is like so different, like more poppier style, more like
country,
poppy music and stuff. Yeah, more mainstream feel to it, and
Because back in the day we just did like the Red 3 stuff was
Yeah.
just like clubby, you know, it was like
Yeah.
bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam, bam,
It's like
bam.
clubby hip hop music. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the stuff you're doing now is like it's a little different. It's a little more. I guess it's a little more mature.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely mature. And you know, because that's what art is. You know, your music changes as you change, right? As a person.
Yeah, you know, like that's what I love about music. Is just, you know, you kind of there's always something to learn, and then you're always growing. Like I'm always gonna stay a student. And I'm always,
So
and I always feel like I got room to grow. And I think the day where I'm like feel like I can't grow anymore, then like maybe I'll put the mic down. But I doubt that.
But yeah, like it's you know, like the music and stuff for itself has been such a crazy journey. It's been, you know, we've been able to incorporate like our just like even our culture, just being native and our experiences in life, and you know, it's been like therapy, all that kind of stuff, and you know, it's been something that's always been. I think it's been a consistent in our life, right? Like
it's been for sure. It was like something that bonded us.
Yeah, and
You
it's
know what
like,
I mean? Like because like we didn't have the bond we have today, and if it wasn't for music, I don't know if we would, right? Like
yeah, and that, you know, and then it just stems out to other things as well. You know, like all the other stuff that we ended up doing, like Bannock Burger and
and then DigiWorks. It stems right to DigiWorks.
yeah, DigiWorks.
DigiWorks is a native events company, right?
Yeah.
And
That we do together, yeah.
That we do together, and which, you know, like
Yeah,
if it wasn't for the confidence of being able to perform, I don't think we'd be able to even do. Well, me personally, I don't know if I'd be able to do this podcast. You know, without that confidence, right?
And then it's brought us to this point, like where we're doing a podcast together and stuff. You know, we're doing the Native Room, and so we're back to doing shows again in the clubs.
Like promoting like club events.
Yeah.
Where we get to perform, right?
Through IndigiWorks. So like the last 2 shows we did, Indigi Nights, where the first one was the Glow Party.
Yeah.
So we did the Indigi Nights Glow Party at Double Dragon, and that was my first time performing in like over 6 years, man.
Yeah.
And it was like riding a bike, and it was like performing my new music. It felt so good. Like the high, everything, the rush. Oh man, it was amazing. You know, like it was so good to be back on the stage, and it's like,
it was a good event. Like we did well for our first event.
For our first nightclub event again. Yeah,
we made money. You know, so that's what
you know, just promoting it. You know, shout out to all the staff and everybody at Double Dragon on Jasper Ave. You know, for giving us this space. You know, like, and this is a space where like, you know, it's not always like common for a bunch of natives to be in a nightclub and stuff, especially in Edmonton these days. So that was like our whole vision behind doing Indigi Nights, is that we wanted to have that space again where natives are out being at the nightclubs or in the bars or whatever, and you know, we're watching some live performances. You know, we have you know, like the DJ and stuff, like native DJ. You know, our DJ that time, the last couple times, DJ Deeds, a brother. Shout out to DJ Deeds for you know, holding us down and playing the amazing music he does, and you know, just creating a space for natives.
Yeah, you know, like creating a scene too. Like, you know, want to create a scene.
Yeah,
like a place where natives can go, like up and coming artists and like established artists.
Yeah. And I feel like Winnipeg's always had that.
Yeah, and
like Winnipeg and Vancouver kind of too. But like, I know Winnipeg's always been a place where natives always had a scene.
Yeah,
or they've always had a scene for music and performing and artists like that. And a lot of artists end up living in Winnipeg or going over that way because they get a lot of shows out there.
Yeah, the cool thing about spending the time with John C. right now is like, he's a pretty wise dude, you know. So I getting to learn about their scene out there and how they do it, and like, you know, like who are the key people behind their you know, their hip hop scene, right?
Yeah, and then just us doing it here, you know, like us doing Indigi Nights. So then the second one we did was the
old school.
Old school, yeah. So we did the old school throwback, 90s,
Yeah, that was
2000s.
fun. Yeah.
We had such a crazy time. We pretty much almost packed that place, and it was it was fun. We had all our performers come
Yeah,
out and stuff, and
each event
yeah,
seems to get better and
yeah,
better, right? So
and and it's cool. It's cool because we're doing, like these events and stuff that we're doing. We're just trying to create a space for Native people in a positive way. Like we're doing positive things out here. We're trying to, and that's the thing at our events. Like nobody popped off, no violence, no nothing, and everyone just had a good time, and that's all it was. We just wanted to see a whole bunch of Natives come out and enjoy themselves and have a good time, right?
yeah, I think and yeah, that's what it's gonna be moving forward, right? So
Yeah. And then with that, like if you want to hear like our music, like this, I guess we can use our platform to plug ourselves too, right?
yeah, well, yeah, I go by Jack Fire, right?
Right.
And then I'm also with I'm also with a recording label called Guilty Records. It's GILL-T Records. You can find us on all the streaming platforms. You can find me on YouTube under Jack Fire, and then if you want to check out some of our old stuff, check out the Red 3 Boys.
Yeah. Our old group, Red 3. Yeah, it's somewhere out there on the internet.
Yeah, we got some of the old school songs, but right now, like Jack Fire and Guilty Records, right? So.
And then I go by Jules Lavish. That's Julez, Lavish. I got a bunch of music on iTunes, Spotify, all the streaming platforms, so you can check that out too. But yeah, we're just doing our thing, like with music and stuff. We're just having fun with it. Like I know for myself, it's just more of an outlet for me to be an artist and to create and try new things, experiment with different types of beats, different types of sounds and stuff. And
yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Yeah, and just and growing with it, like and evolving, maturing, and everything like that. Because the older you get, like I can't. Like I'm not out in the streets anymore, so I can't really be rapping about, or singing or writing about stuff. Yeah,
rolling in the big E.
Yeah, rolling in the big E.
I don't know, man. He's still rolling the big E sometimes, bro.
But like, and the things change. Like love and family and all that stuff. Everything changes.
The sound evolves, like your sound.
Yeah,
evolves. Like,
and
the stuff that I write now is like so much different than where I was, 15
and even
18 years ago.
Yeah, and then even honing your skill.
Yeah.
Like your style, everything like that. Like I totally changed my style.
Tighten up the bars.
Yeah, all that stuff, and it's just fun. Like it's just so much fun. Like
for me, I just do it for fun. I just love doing it.
Yeah.
The whole process of writing, and recording, performing, right?
Yeah, because we're not out here trying to be the, like we're not trying to like blow up to be signed and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like
those days are long.
Yeah, we're not chasing that dream. We're out here just living. We're already living the dream.
Yeah.
So we're already living the dream, and we have the resources and everything now to produce the best quality kind of music we can, and just have fun with it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing, just having fun,
And
man.
it's like bringing it back to the Native thing. It's like it's cool that like our perspective is like more the hip hop scene and stuff like that. But seeing other Natives in country and pop, punk, all of the other stuff,
even a bunch of different genres.
Different genres, and like just so many amazing artists out there. And
I'd love to see another scene, let's build this scene back up. Let's come together as
and that's and that's what we want to encourage. We want to encourage more Natives to like be, start promoting each other, promoting, like making those contacts with
collaborating,
and like creating, like it's not hard to go out and find a place, like a venue, book a venue. Because that's what I would always do. Like I book the venue, pick the date, get the performers.
Invite your peers,
and then market and promote it and stuff like that. And and that's how you make movements. That's how you create community and stuff. As see other people do it and then make it happen too. So yeah, we definitely want to encourage other people to go out there and do the same thing, you know, like with IndigiWorks, where, you know, our big picture is Indigenous excellence, creating events from nightclub events to golf tournaments to conferences and
Comedy shows.
comedy show, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
That's what our big thing is, like, not just that, but plus this podcast, you know, and whatever else we find that we love in art and being native and creating, right? And
anything that has to do
Yeah.
with media, you know, in general, right?
so like, even, you know, and the big thing is like representing our culture, representing our people in a good way, you know, in a positive way and stuff like that. Like, whether it's traditional music, hand drumming, powwow, round dance, or if it's, you know, like modern contemporary, hip hop, pop, country, metal, punk, all the other genres, folk, indie, all that stuff. Like, there's so many, you know, like, I'm so proud to be native and being an artist and creating music and seeing so many other natives out there doing the same thing. Like, I start to see all these new native artists that are coming out and stuff, and it just blows my mind how the evolution of like natives in music is taking off, and you know, just seeing other natives in all these spaces winning Juno Awards, and not just like the subcategory, and like actual winning the actual like top categories, like and seeing natives like actually doing that, like even drum groups that are out there winning, like, you know, like Northern Cree, I got, you know, like Snotty Nose Rez Kids, Tia Wood, Fawnwood, Cree Confederation, all these groups out there that are doing traditional and contemporary music and like just representing natives in a big way, and it's beautiful, you know. And
just the only thing I wanted to say was like what we've been saying is just like let's come together, let's create a new scene. Like, you know, we had a bit of a scene years ago, and let's do it again, right?
Yeah.
I think we can, and like we're definitely gonna be on top of that. Me and Jules, by doing the Indigi Nights events, right?
Yeah.
Every event is gonna be. We're gonna bring out a couple artists.
Yeah.
That haven't been.
Yeah, putting people on and
that haven't been to Edmonton, and like putting new artists on, right?
Yeah, giving people that opportunity, you know, and
you know, bring some old artists back too. That'd be cool, right?
Yeah, definitely. And you know, like some of our closing reflection is, you know, like I think it's awesome that you know, that music was able to always be a part of who we are and who we still are, and you know, it's been something that's been positive for us, even through all the negatives in our lives and negative things. We're always able to like pick up a pen and write about it, you know, and that helped us heal too. Like, doing music is such a healing, was a healing process for us too, right? Like, everyone always says, you know, writing music, recording is like therapy.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know, and it's definitely helped our mental health too, right? And
yeah, it's you know, it's an outlet that's helped me quite a bit, right?
Yeah, but with that, you know, we want to encourage other natives out there, make some music, make some art.
I want to encourage you right there.
Don't let other people Don't let other people tell you can't be yourself, because creating music, creating art is you being you. So don't let other people discourage you. Just keep going and believe in yourself.
Yeah, be yourself, because that's the only thing original.
Yeah, and that's what's going to shine. That's what will make you shine out there.
That's the only thing original nowadays, is being yourself, right? So that's what I encourage everyone to do.
So yeah, with that, this is the Native Room.
Yeah, peace.
We'll see you in the next one.